Come on in and join us.
You're here on a great day. We're going to Japan today with Talia of Ariana and Evans.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, come on in the live chat and meet the Whiff Pack, an awesome group of folks from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we were super excited to see that the Big Top is coming out in the Ultima base, a new label and everything.
We have the K2E. This is what it looks like. And this is a picture of the new label. Very classy, very dapper. Y'all, this is the star of our brand new and budgeting EDP collection from Ariana and Evans. Not only are these the longest lasters in our collection, but some of the most beguiling and intriguing scents. Starting with this one. How do you recreate a circus and make it this beautiful? Her sister still doesn't believe this is a circus. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is matcha tea in the Ultima base, and I'm super excited for this one. I used to have matcha a lot when I worked at Trader Joe's. That was my mid-afternoon little drink. I'm really excited to see what they bring on with the scent of matcha.
I don't know if I remember what it tastes like. It's been so long. So you are going to be our resident expert. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at aegrooming.com.
A celebration of passion, travel, and the art of creation, our matcha tea is the result of a deeply personal journey crafted by my daughter, Talia Ariana. A true connoisseur of matcha, Talia recently traveled to Japan. I remember seeing the pictures. They were very fun. Immersing herself in the vibrant matcha culture of Tokyo and Osaka, visiting tea shops at every opportunity and savoring the flavors, rituals, and unique fragrances of each experience. Her love of matcha is not just a taste, but a deep connection to tradition. And she wanted to translate that experience into a scent that would evoke both the fresh, green vibrancy of matcha and the rich, calming essence of the tea ceremony. Drawing on her travels, Talia carefully curated each note in this fragrance, blending her favorite elements of matcha with the essence of the journey itself. The process was one of both inspiration and discovery, each ingredient chosen to mirror the feeling of sipping a perfect cup of matcha in the heart of Japan. Each note was chosen not just for its individual scent, but for how it would evoke the experience of matcha, the freshness, the smoothness, and the quiet complexity that comes with each sip. The result is a fragrance that mirrors the journey Talia took, a scent that is both invigorating and serene, bright and earthy, with just the right touch of spice to make it truly unique.
Y'all, we do know that last year Talia started her perfuming journey officially at Pratt, the perfuming school in Brooklyn, New York. And we can't wait to experience this, one of her first fragrances. Let's take it out of the box. She's giving big cuddle energy today, folks.
Sorry,
I think she's tired.
She's
All
tired.
right, what do we got in the box here? We've got, there's the splash sealed for your protection.
Super sealed. I mean, there's no way in.
Here we are.
Okay, I'm going to leave it in the bag. It does have a little barely scent coming off. I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, y'all, look at that label. How cool is that? All right, I am ready to board the plane and put my tray table back to its original upright position. We are going to Japan. What even is matcha?
So it's a green tea, but the leaves are dried and then ground up into a super fine powder. That powder goes directly into your hot water, and there you go.
Well, I know you can't like super fine ground coffee and just put it into water because you have to brew it still.
Right.
So this might be a little bit different of an experience. All right, let's see. I want you to take it in. You are a resident expert. See what you think.
I'm actually very excited. I did get to go to Japan once, but it was all for work. I didn't really get to go look at all these fun things, so I'll gladly take this version.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, there's fun sides to this.
Yeah, what are you getting?
Yeah, or all those adjectives that they had at the end, they're like earthy but sweet. That's all here.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how, but those layers, if you the first whiff you start, you're like, oh, this is kind of simple. It's very enjoyable. And then that goes straight down. And then there's all these other layers of things that are happening
Nice.
in here. I somehow can tell that this more is the powdery version.
Gotcha.
So I'm curious when we get to the splash, if that's going to feel more to me like the actual, like taking a whiff of your fresh cup of tea.
Is it just the tea, or is there more going on in here? Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. I think it's really based more on the tea, but it's creating like a cool woodsy kind of vibe too.
Love
At
it.
least first whiff off the puck here. Like it has more of a masculine kind of tamer side.
Oh, okay.
I was expecting the sweetness would really be more potent here somehow. Like I just assumed it'd be my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really think there's a lot of layers in this that you're going to enjoy.
Nice.
That you wouldn't assume right away that you're smelling a tea.
Right.
There's almost a fun white floral kind of thing coming through.
Nice.
And there's something brighter. I don't know if it's a citrusy side. I'm trying to think if there's like a time of day I would wear this. I feel like it's an all-day scent.
Nice.
It's a very gentle, fun friend to have on your shoulder.
Love
like
it.
that calming side of the routine and the tradition of sitting there and enjoying your tea and just taking your time and indulging somehow is coming through. It's a very fun, serene kind of side.
So if some of the folks out there maybe know green tea, but they don't know matcha, is it far?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's far enough that I know it's different.
Oh.
But I guess if you had to pick a close cousin, I would say that's not too far off.
How are they different, green tea and matcha?
To me, green tea is a little more on the bitter side somehow.
Okay.
This, my brain almost picks up matcha as like a creamy effect. There's no cream in it, but the way that the texture and the stuff of matcha that's happening, there's a different side that comes out. It does have similarities, but to me, I would say it's different enough that if you order a matcha and a green tea, they taste different. You will know. So the scent of that, to me, is coming through.
Right.
It deserves a long whiff, y'all. But I do feel like that's part of the tradition. If you were to sit down and you're just having your tea, you enjoy the whiff of the tea almost as much as you enjoy tasting it.
Right.
It's almost like going to like a winery or something. Like it's a similar kind of experience.
Yeah, I remember watching a documentary about the tea ceremony and just like everything is to be savored. Even the movements of the person serving you are to be savored, right?
And I don't know all the customs, but I know there's like proper sides to pour and different things that are all part of that whole experience. And there is something that's timeless about this scent.
Nice.
Like I really feel like the layers that are coming through, like even just the tradition of the florals that are on the side here, I think that's the white floral I'm getting. I don't know which one it is, but it's very lovely. I think I'm actually getting the floral first, then I dive into more of the green tea kind of thing.
Right.
And at the end, there's just something that makes me want to smile. I don't know if it's a woodsy thing, like maybe the place that we're in, or some part of that ceremony, maybe it's like a wood spoon we're stirring with. I don't know. But there's something of that same like white to the green tea color to another lighter wood bamboo-y kind of image. That's what I'm getting.
Love it. But let's see
I'm
what
curious.
happens when I take my first impression.
See if it's familiar.
Wow.
Was it what you were expecting?
No, not at all. But I love this. Only about 2/3 of it for me are the heart of that matcha scent. And the rest of it is a beautiful vibe of a place being created. And it's super creamy, super almost lemony, super clean, super dapper. Whoa, hold on.
I feel like I can almost hear the birds chirping. Like there's just...
Wow. Okay, the first thing off the top. It does not go sweet. It's super charming without being sweet almost at all, which means that charm is being done in a different way. It's super easy for a sweet soap to come across as charming.
Yeah.
But not for a not sweet soap. And this has worlds to discover that are just as comforting as cotton candy, but that's not what's happening here. Okay, hold on. I love that I'm getting the character of the matcha, but I'm also being invited into that scent to find the citruses, to find the woods, to find those drier scents that are up against the tea scent. Whoa!
Do you get the floral side? Because I was surprised to get that.
Oh, absolutely. And there's almost like an ambery fougere thing going on in here where the flowers are just there on the table across from you. But the way they're clicking with the citruses in the tea is beautiful. And they're so subtle. They're so subtle. If you're not looking for them, you wouldn't find them at first. Okay, from the ground up, I start with lemon, lime, and orange. And it doesn't start to get sweet. It starts to get tart. And that beautiful tart, almost sour citrus just presents its personality enough. And right about the point where your mouth starts to water due to that tartness, it shifts and it becomes the tea, and it becomes creamy and smooth and green and earthy and beautiful. It doesn't totally let go of the citrus. And then by the time it gets to the top, the steam from the top of the cup is what's giving me the floral. And y'all, we do eat at a lot of Asian restaurants, and jasmine tea is something that is a beautiful end to most of my lunches. And there is a tiny hint of that. And I'm still kind of getting a sense of the place. I'm getting a sense of bamboo. I'm getting the sense of clean white stone. I'm getting the sense of a beautiful wooden floor. And almost if citrus could be turned into a mint itself is what's happening in the center of this as it comes up against those dry, bracing parts of the tea. Wow, this is impressive.
There are layers in this scent, for sure.
And y'all, if you have it in your mind of a green tea scent, this is not it. It's a country mile. You're talking about one melody versus a symphony. Yeah. I didn't even recognize tea in this. Mm-hmm. There are all kinds of things going on here, y'all. And I think I might want to build a lather now and start discovering more of these mysteries and wonders as we go today. So, y'all, this is the brand new Ultima base. This is in the glass jars. They're going to be doing more and more of this as time wears merrily forward. And, y'all, this is my Captain's Choice Copper Bowl. This is in the polished colorway. And we just like to ground the soap into those ridges so you couldn't even get them out again without a fingernail. The entire reason you're doing that is so that the brush itself doesn't start to pull chunks off the soap, that is just met with a smooth surface and a little bit of that rough texture of the bowl itself. This is our retro shaving brush. It was a gift from Peter and Talia, Ariana and Evans. And y'all, I love the feel of this. This is the natural badger knot. And this is our bougie sprayer. So y'all, we're just going to laterally bloom this soap here. Let the water run down to the bottom of the bowl. We're going to use it later. But we want to get the soap a little bit wet. So we're never going to bring the brush over to it. We're going to go forwards. We're going to go backwards. And we're going to push down for the backbone, you know, like you usually do. But then what we do differently here at our barbershop is we're actually going to spin the brush 25%, give those round bristles a different orientation against the soap in the bowl. And all of a sudden, a lot more of it's going to start to disappear up onto that brush. And then, why not turn the brush again? Go forwards, go backwards, push down, get the backbone. But you're going to be loading most of that soap, 80% of it, into the bristles of that brush. Now, just about the time it's about gone from the bottom of your copper bowl, you're going to go down here and let that water just get sopped up onto the brush, and then either take it to the face, take it to the legs, ladies, take it to wherever you desire, or just go right back to the bowl and start to build this fantastic lather.
I am getting giant whiffs over here.
Man.
Oh, boy, it's waking up a little more. Just like the tea. If you add some water, magic's happening.
Right.
A few moments later.
Y'all, the Ultima base inspires parades. Dudes write songs about this. It is incredible stuff. Look at this. You can barely even see the bowl. I mean, I know we never talk about lather here on the Barbershop Duet, but are you kidding me with this? Look at that. Is there Lily of the Valley in this?
It's definitely a white floral. If it's not that one, it's a cousin. It's close.
All right, y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Konnichiwa with on 3, 1, 2. Wow. Oh, I like the balance here in the lather. Somehow even a little less sweet for a not very sweet soap in the first place, and yet even more charm comes out of this thing.
I think this is like a more daytime almost version to me. Like, there's sunlight. It's bright.
This is not a nighttime scent, y'all. This is beautifully light streaming sunlight through the window. And y'all, when you do watch those old Shaving with Sharky videos, we love to see how Peter lathers his face. And while we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, we thought you might like to see what happens when a little bit of lather goes out. Are you kidding me with this? It's a quarter-inch thick. Oh, y'all. And doesn't that feel good and protective?
It does smell good closer to the nose, I gotta say.
Oh, almost like being closer to a speaker at a concert. You are going to get different details. All right, Yellen, I'm afraid we're going to have to see what's in this tea. Can we please see a list of the set notes? All right, y'all, back to the sales page at aegrooming.com.
This composition was crafted with love at our shop in Connecticut. The fragrance opens with the bright, zesty burst of bergamot.
Citrus.
Yes, capturing the awakening energy of the morning tea ritual. So there is a lot of sunlight. The core of green tea, earthy, fresh, and green is the soul of the scent, balanced by the creamy smoothness. I almost said almonds. Almond milk.
Shut up. Oh, I can totally sense that in here.
Yeah, that's why I was getting like the woodsy creamy thing, but that makes way more sense.
And if you are used to your almond notes also bordering a cherry note, which most of them do, this doesn't. This is a very special note in here where it doesn't suggest cherry to me at all.
No.
And I get the lactonic sort of part of the almond milk. Beautiful.
They're subtle, but they're definitely there, and they stay in that same lane,
Right.
which evokes the warmth and comfort of a freshly prepared traditional matcha tea. Underneath, a touch of spiciness, you said an amber frangere maybe.
Kinda something like that.
Adds intrigue, reminiscent of the subtle complexity Talia found in the matcha blends she tasted in Japan. A blend of tonka bean,
Right.
Virginia cedar,
There's the wood.
and hinoki cypress. Duh.
That. And it's there, but it's turned way down. I would never have sensed it on its own.
But you were kind of saying about that gentle sweet, and I think
Right.
that actually helps with it.
Indeed.
Brings grounding depth and warmth, while the herbal notes of clary sage, bay leaf, and galbanum, that's more the floral, create a layered sense of nature and tranquility, reflecting the peaceful beauty of the Japanese landscape she explored. My friends.
All right, here's what a great perfuming nose Talia has. That clary sage, I wore chaps yesterday, and I wore the original Aqua Velva the day before, steeped in clary sage. And yet, it is so beautifully balanced in here that I didn't even smell it until I read it on that page, but it's here for sure. Do you get that?
It's so disguised, but again, if it wasn't there, we would miss it. But I think that's why my brain was just getting that image of like a white, a light green,
Right.
a woodsy texture. Like
Right.
that is all coming through in a magic way.
In that chaps in Aqua Velva, the sage is the driest part. Well, here, nay, it's like the sweetest part. I think that's why you don't quite see it. It's like that dress that some people see blue and some people see gold.
There you go.
All right, going over these set notes, which ones were a surprise for you? The bay leaf is a delight for me. I never would have suspected that was
I
in there.
completely agree. And actually, the hinoki was a secret weapon. I totally get why it's here. And I'm pretty sure that's a Japanese tree, right?
Right.
So there, it just makes total sense that it's mixed in there in a fun way.
Are there no florals listed in this? There's no florals in this.
You are completely right.
Which just proves that they don't always list all the set notes. Because I think there's a floral in this. Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the first thing I almost said at the beginning, but
Right.
it could just be the magic of how these are connecting.
Right.
But that is painting the image in my mind of that kind of beautiful side of how the scent is coming together.
Kind of even a sense of Barbary Classico in something in this, which I love. It's one of my favorite barbershops.
Clearly, we can tell it definitely came from Ariana and Evans. There's some magic.
I love that, because when you hear a song that's written by Laura Nero, you know that's by her. So it's kind of like that. When you smell a soap that's by an artist, most of the time you can kind of know it's that artist, even if you don't exactly know how.
Right? I am very curious to see, though, in the splash, since like we say sometimes, something that's meant to be a liquid form, at least a scent, I'm curious how it's going to come out in the splash.
Well, I do know we have a section of our show for just such things. Why don't we take this deeper? Y'all, there's aftershave bottles. And then there's something that you can use for home defense.
Woo! Okay, I'm really excited. Do I go first?
I think you should. I love these bottles.
Okay, don't spill on the dog. Actually,
right.
if I spill on the dog, I won't
Well,
complain.
that's fine.
It's
She can
fine.
smell like this as long as she wants.
Oh, wow. Okay, the citruses, the bright sides
Yeah?
of this are already
Ooh.
definitely more of a thing, I think.
Oh.
It's not actually green. It's okay.
But there is work going on in these Ultimate Splashes. Look at the color. Y'all, look at that. Beautiful skin food.
Oh, she woke up. Does it smell good, Lainey? She woke right up.
Y'all. Why do we go to Disneyland and blow 10 times more than is in our savings for those 4-minute rides? Because they take you away on such real adventures. Everything is there for the ear, for the eye, for the nose, for the skin. It's real and it whisks you away. Y'all, these little movie posters always pay off. When you put on this splash, when you use this soap, you are whisked away to a far off land where it's a little bit strange and scary to you, but everything there is hospitable and everybody you meet is going to want you to have a good time and relax. And that is what this is doing for me better than any of those Disney rides could. And I'm not sure how. Well, I think because I know at the end of the day, those are cardboard and black light. this is real. This
Right.
is what it smells like.
I feel like we just got to put another stamp on our passport. Like we just went on an
Right.
adventure to a new place, to things that we don't really know. And as this is drying down, I feel like I'm even getting other layers. Like even
me
more
too.
of the tonka bean, the
too.
cedar, the
Yes.
the hinoki, the sage, the all those spices, and even the galbanum. I think is that last thing I've been getting at the very end.
I'm getting galbanum and vanilla together. That's how this is kind of patting me on the butt on the way out.
It's interesting. I thought this was going to be way in your face
Yeah,
matcha.
right.
Like I just expected
Right.
like it almost was going to be like me ordering my jar of matcha and
Yeah.
getting like hit in the face with green.
Right.
This one has depths and layers and other fun characters that I feel like if someone walked by you wearing this, I don't know if you'd get the green tea right away, but you
Right.
would get the calming.
Yes.
That whole essence of just pausing and enjoying the scent.
Right.
I think is overall what stays throughout this whole whip.
Totally. And not a John Wayne masculine scent, but I don't think that's what it's trying to do. This is meant to transport you. This is meant to
Yes.
take you away. This is meant to be your guide, your host on a new adventure, and leave you kind of smelling like that vibe that you've actually been there and you've got some wisdom that came along with it attached.
We had a lot of Japanese exchange students growing
Oh,
up, and they would
right.
come and stay with us for a few months.
Right.
Even my grandma had a few stay with her, and we always stayed in touch with them. Like there's just something about their culture and how much the women that we spent time with. I mean, my sister and I were little. We were probably super annoying to them,
Right.
jumping into like the American culture and a lot at once, but they just took so much time and reverence with us. One of them even had her take our measurements, and her mom made kimonos and sent them to us, and they fit perfectly. And it was so nice to just get to know each other's cultures and spend time. And there's something about their just persona and culture that is really coming out through this. I can
is.
tell Talia spent time there, and that character of their culture is definitely part of this scent.
I have one friend from Japan. He's a little old man now. His name is Takashi. He's an artist, and he painted this. Y'all, I gave him a photograph 2 Christmases ago, and he delivered this. His specialty is painting animals, and specifically your pets. Is that not beautiful? And if you would like his contact information, because he is still doing it, send us an email, and we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus in Richmond, California in July of 1977. Well, your cousin Torby is going to be fresh off the plane from a trip back from Japan, and she's going to be teaching you how to bow properly and say konnichiwa, and they're going to get it on video. And just about the time she gives you that shirt that says Coca-Cola in Japanese and your head explodes, you're going to get your own. So head over to aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with matcha tea. And there is just something so luxurious about the Ariana and Evans brand, from the containers to the artwork to the base to the scent. And this one grows on you as if you have found a favorite little tea house that you get to go visit every day. Every time I smell this and get to know it a little bit better, I love it a little bit more. And I get more of a sense of the walls, more of a sense of the wood, more a sense of the characters that surround you somehow are all captured, surrounded by this fabulously dry, subtly sweet matcha sense. Thank you, Ariana and Evans. We'll be back. Welcome to Messages.
So for our January giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get one of the inaugural soaps that just dropped over at Adopted Acre Soap Company.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send an email here to WeSetYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here our first February episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck! One of the other things I remember they super stressed when I went there was that if you're going to get a business card from anyone, you have to grab with 2 fingers and you must bow to get it. It was like a big thing that all the sales reps were telling me about when we went. And I was so nervous that I was going to mess it up. And the only other thing that I realized when I went to the big convention center, I was the only woman in pants. I didn't even realize I'm just used to working at the office and that's what I was wearing. So it wasn't bad, but it was just interesting. I could see a lot of the women looking at me like, oh, that must be an American thing.
Right.
So it's just an interesting culture thing. Like I loved their outfits and we would talk, but you could tell that they were like trying not to stare me up and down, but it was just so cool for them to see an American standing in front of them.
Right. Well, it's a good thing that Mully didn't find you. He would have reminded you that you're in the whiff pack and nobody wears pants.
I think the other thing I remember was how clean Everything was. There was no
Right.
trash on the street. Everyone took care of their own space. Even the hotel that I was staying at, all the taxis we got in, the subways, pristine.
Yes, and this is just as much a clean scent as it is a tea scent, y'all. There is so much going on in here. I am loving this. And Talia, thank you for the dedicated work it took to balance something like this. It really is a home run.
I feel like we're going to have to get some matcha so you can try to actually drink it
The
for
real thing. And then we'll put this on first, and then it won't have a chance.
There you go. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.